विक गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहरी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्याल्प विष्णु विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्याल्प विष्णु विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्याल्प विष्णु विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्याल्प विष्णु विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशुमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्याल्प विष्णु विष्णुपार शुतर शुत शिशुमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्याल्प विष्णु महाभगवत श्री गोरक्षरस बाबूजी महाराज की जय। नित्याल्प विश्व श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्याल्प विष्णु वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबूजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानु गौरी गुरु वर्ग की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नाम अक्षय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट विराट गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंद श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। जय श्री श्रील भक्ति जीवन आचार्य गोसाई महाराज की जय। तो देर शुभ थिंक इस आविर्भाव तिथि की जय। जय श्री रघुनाथ दास गोस्वामी पाद की जय। जय श्री श्रीमान नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। स्वापाशा श्री गौर नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। जय श्री राघव पंडित की जय। श्री दमयंती देवी की जय। जय श्री पानीहाटी ग्राम की जय। जय श्री दंड महोत्सव की जय। दही चीड़ा महोत्सव की जय। जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय ग्रंथराज जय श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय। जय श्री कृष्णदास कविराज गोसाई पाद की जय। जय श्री निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अवतीर्णौ सकारुण्यो परिच्छिन्नौ सरीश्वरौ श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानन्दौ द्वौ भ्रातरौ भजे। नमस्त्रिकालसत्याय जगन्नाथसुताय च सभृत्याय सपुत्राय सकलत्राय ते नमः। जय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य लक्ष्मीकांत जय जय नित्यानंद वल्लभ एकांत जय जय वैकुंठ ईश्वर न्यासीराज जय 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 भक्त समाज जय जय पतित पावन गौरचंद्र दान देह हृदये तोमार पद द्वंद्व तवाय वास्मि न जीवामि त्वया विना Itti vigyaya devi tvang nayamang charanantikam. Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshay Shiptashtakamaditaranga madhe Kripa mai tvam sharanam prapanna Vrinde namaste charanaravindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Let's recite a pranam mantra for um, Raghunātha Gosvāmī. Let me just find it though. It's be here, laid out. Goswami's. Here it is. Okay. There it is. Okay. Rupeti nama vadabo rasane sadatvam Rupam cha sangsmaramana karuna swarupam Rupam namaskaru shira sadayavalokam Tasya dvitiya sutanu Raghunātha dasam. So the meaning of this is, O tongue, always chant the name Rupa. O mind, always remember Sri Rupa, the embodiment of compassion. O head, bow to Sri Rupa, whose glance distributes mercy. In the same way, chant, remember, and bow to Sri Rupa's non-different form, Sri Raghunath Das. All right, let's see who is here. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Bhavatarani Mataji and Nri Hari Prabhu, Dandavat pranams. And on YouTube and Facebook, Vidyalala Sadiri, and there's somebody else. I don't know who it is, maybe Indira Mataji. I don't know if you write a comment, I'll see your name. Also, pranams to devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi, Revati Didi, and Jayadev Prabhu, Haribo. Okay, so we are continuing on. Well, no, we're not continuing on anything. Today is a very special, joyous day. It is Daṇḍa-mahotsava, the festival of punishment, Daṇḍa. This is a day when Nityānanda Prabhu punishes Raghunātha Gosvāmī in a very wonderful, joyful way. It's also known as, think, Daṇḍa-mahotsava, and yeah, the chipped rice festival. Not chipped rice, flat rice. Flat rice festival. Okay. So today we're going to be reading from Caitanya-caritāmṛta. What is it? Caitanya-caritāmṛta, which it's Antya-līlā. I wrote it down here. No, where did I write it down? Sorry, this is, it's Caitanya-caritāmṛta Antya-līlā chapter 6, the meeting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Raghunātha Gosvāmī. And this chapter is a bit long, and so we might go a little overtime today, just letting you know. I think I'm just going to read the translations, but maybe occasionally I'll read the Bengali. But yeah, we don't have enough time to read everything. So, oh, and today is also the appearance day of Bhakti Jivanacharya Maharaj. We already read about him recently. We had a long reading about him. Yeah, so anyways, pranams to him again and again. Maybe at the end, if there's any extra time and anybody wants to stay longer, maybe we could read a little bit about him. Okay, so the meeting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Raghunātha Gosvāmī. Kripa gunarya kugrahanda kupar udritya bhangya Raghunātha dasam Nyasya swarupe vidadhentarangam Shri Krishna Chaitanyam amung prapadye. With the ropes of his causeless mercy, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu employed a trick to deliver Raghunath Das Goswami from the blind well of contemptible family life. He made Raghunath Das Goswami one of his personal associates, placing him under the charge of Swarup Damodar Goswami. I offer my obeisances unto him. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jai Nityānanda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Lord Nityananda. All glories to Sri Advaita Acharya. And all glories to the devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. E Mata Gora Chandra Bhakta Gana Sange Nila Chale Nana Lila Kore Na Nana Range. Sorry, I said I was not going to read the Bengali. Thus, Lord Gaurachandra performed various pastimes with his associates at Jagannath Puri in varieties of transcendental pleasure. Although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt pangs of separation from Krishna, he did not manifest his feelings externally, for he feared the unhappiness of his devotees. The transformations undergone by the Lord when he manifested severe unhappiness due to separation from Krishna cannot be described. When the Lord acutely felt pangs of separation from Krishna, only Sri Ramananda Rai's talks about Krishna and the sweet songs of Swarup Damodar kept him alive. Because the Lord associated with various devotees during the day, his mind was somewhat diverted. But at night, the pangs of separation from Krishna increased very rapidly. Haribol Brian. Two people, Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar, stayed with the Lord, and Swarup Damodar Goswami. They stayed with the Lord to pacify him by reciting various verses about Krishna's pastimes and by singing appropriate songs for his satisfaction. Previously, when Lord Krishna was personally present, Subal, one of his cowherd boyfriends, gave him happiness when he felt separation from Radharani. Similarly, Ramananda Rai helped give happiness to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Previously, when Srimati Radharani felt the pangs of separation from Krishna, her constant companion Lalita kept her alive by helping her in many ways. Similarly, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt Radharani's emotions, Swarup Damodar Goswami helped him maintain his life. Interesting. I remember when we were reading, Ramananda Rai is, in Gaur-Gana-Dashtapika, it said that he was our Krishna's friend, the Saka Arjuna, and also, it doesn't mention in Gaur-Gana-Dashtapika that he's Vishaka, but Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he indicated that somewhere. But it's interesting that here he's being compared to, it's like Subal, when Subal Saka was pacifying Krishna, who was in separation from Radharani, and Lalita was pacifying Radharani. And Lalita is being compared to Swarup Damodar Goswami. I think in Gaur-Gana-Dashtapika it mentions that Swarup Damodar is Lalita. I don't know that. I'd have to double check that. Okay. To describe the fortunate position of Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar Goswami is extremely difficult. They were renowned as intimately confidential friends of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Lord thus enjoyed his life with his devotees. O devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Now hear how Raghunath Das Goswami met the Lord. When Raghunath Das, during his family life, went to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Shantipur, the Lord gave him worthy instructions by his causeless mercy. Instead of becoming a so-called renunciant, Raghunath Das, following the instructions of the Lord, returned home and played exactly like a pounds and shillings man, like a Vishai, like an enjoyer. And um, the word here, it says a so-called renunciate, but the word here says Markata Vairagya. Markata means monkey, Vairagya. So he gave up monkey renunciation. And so what is monkey renunciation? Monkeys, they they don't have any possessions, right? They don't have any. Does any monkey have like their permanent items that they always have? No, they have no possessions. They have no living place. They don't have a house. They're always just, one day they'll be sleeping on this tree, then they'll go to that tree, and so they have no possessions, no residence, and so no clothes even. They're like Naga Babas. So in that way, they seem like they're very renounced. But what are they? Monkeys, their only absorption is wanting to steal this and eat that. And like they don't, they're like the total opposite of renunciates, even though they're possessionless. So that's monkey renunciation. It's all the externals of renunciation, but in your heart, all you're greedy for is wanting to enjoy sex, or you want to get these things, or you want to steal that. And like yeah. So that's Markata Vairagya. Haribol and Adi Krishna Prabhu. So instead of becoming a, yeah, so I remember one time a Gurudev asked, um, anyways, whatever, that's going off topic. But yeah, instead of becoming a monkey renunciate, Raghunath Das Goswami, following the instructions of the Lord, he played exactly like a Vishai. Raghunath Das was inwardly completely renounced, even in family life. But he did not express his renunciation externally. Instead, he acted just like an ordinary businessman. Seeing this, his father and mother were satisfied. Haribol Ganga Mataji. When he received the message that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had returned from Mathura city, Raghunath Das endeavored to go to the lotus feet of the Lord. At that time, there was a Muslim official collecting taxes of Saptagram. When Hiranyadas, Raghunath Das's uncle, made an agreement with the government to collect taxes, the Muslim Chaudhary, or tax collector, having lost his position, became extremely envious of him. Right? So there's, Hiranya, Raghunath Das Goswami's uncle, would have to give money to the king, really, I think it was. But yeah, the government. And so usually there's a middleman called the Chaudhary who would he would give the taxes, but he would take like a 25% commission. And but then yeah, Hiranya, he just made a deal with the Shah or whatever, the ruler, government ruler, to not have to go through the Chaudhary, and he would just give directly. And so then the Chaudhary became really angry. Like he's not getting his, yeah, he's not able to be a middleman and get his cut. So he became extremely envious of him. Hiranyadas was collecting 2 million coins and therefore should have delivered 1.5 million to the government. Instead, he was giving only 1.2 million, thus making an extra profit of 300,000 coins. Seeing this, the Muslim Chaudhary, who was a Turk, became his rival. After sending a confidential account to the government treasury, the Chaudhary brought the minister in charge. The Chaudhary came, wanting to arrest Hiranyadas, but Hiranyadas had left home. He went into hiding. Therefore, the Chaudhary arrested Raghunath Das. Every day, the Muslim would chastise Raghunath Das and tell him, "Bring your father and his elder brother, otherwise you will be punished." The Chaudhary wanted to beat him, But as soon as he saw Raghunatha's face, his mind changed, and he could not beat him. How could somebody beat Raghunath Das Goswami? Such a pure, beautiful, such a pure, yeah. So, indeed, the Chaudhary was afraid of Raghunath Das because Raghunath Das belongs to the Kayasta community. Although the Chaudhary would chastise him with oral vibrations, he'd chastise him orally, he was afraid to beat him. While this was going on, Raghunath Das thought of a tricky method of escape. Thus, he humbly submitted this plea at the feet of the Muslim Chaudhary. Raghunath Das Goswami said, and he's just a young man at this time, right? He says, "My dear sir, my father and his elder brother are your brothers. All brothers always fight about something. Sometimes brothers fight among themselves, and sometimes they have very friendly dealings. There is no certainty when such changes will take place. Thus, I'm sure that although today you are fighting, tomorrow you three brothers will be sitting together in peace. Just as I am my father's son, so I am also yours. I am your dependent, and you are my maintainer. For a maintainer to punish the person he maintains is not good. You are expert in all the scriptures. Indeed, you are like a living saint." He says, Jinda Pir. This is Urdu or Arabic. Jinda means living, and Pir is how they say sadhu, right? You are a living sadhu. Jinda Pir. When the Muslim heard Raghunath Das's appealing voice, his heart softened. He began to cry, and tears glided down his beard. The Muslim Chaudhary told Raghunath Das, "You are my son from this day on. Today, by some means, I shall have you released." After informing the minister, the Chaudhary released Raghunath Das and then began to speak to him with great affection. Your father's elder brother is less intelligent, he said. He enjoys 800,000 coins, but since I'm also a shareholder, he should give me a portion of it to me. Oops. I just went all the way to the bottom by accident. 1 second. Portion to, okay, there. Now you go and arrange a meeting between me and your uncle. Let him do whatever he thinks best. I shall completely depend on his decision. Raghunath Das arranged a meeting between his uncle and the Chaudhary. The matter was settled, and everything was peaceful. In this way, Raghunath Das passed 1 year exactly like a first-class business manager. But the next year, he again decided to leave home. He got up alone one night and left, but his father caught him in a distant place and brought him back. This became almost a daily affair. Raghunath would run away from home, and his father would again bring him back. Then Raghunath Das's mother spoke to his father as follows. She said, "Our son has become mad, batul. He's become mad. Just keep him by binding him with ropes." His father, being very unhappy, replied to her as follows. He said, "Raghunath Das, our son, has opulences like Indra, the heavenly king, and his wife is as beautiful as an angel. She's like an apsara. Yet all this could not tie down his mind. How then could we keep this boy at home by binding him with ropes? It is not possible even for one's father to nullify the reactions of one's past activities." 1 second, just making sure this mic is working. Yeah, it is. Okay, good. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has fully bestowed his mercy upon him. Who can keep home such a madman of Caitanya-caritāmṛta? Then Raghunath Das considered something in his mind. And the next day, wait, it seemed to, okay. Yeah. Then Raghunath Das considered something in his mind, and the next day he went to Nityananda Goshai. In the village of Pāṇihāṭī, Raghunath Das obtained an interview. He got the darshan. He obtained darshan of Nityananda Prabhu, who was accompanied by many kirtan performers, servants, and others. Sitting on a rock under a tree on the bank of the Ganga, Lord Nityananda seemed as effulgent as hundreds of thousands of rising suns. Many devotees sat on the ground surrounding him. Seeing the influence of Nityananda Prabhu, Raghunath Das was astonished. Raghunath Das offered his obeisances by falling prostrate at a distant place, Kotodure. And the servant of Nityananda Prabhu pointed out, "There is Raghunath Das offering you obeisances from a distance." Hearing this, Lord Nityananda Prabhu said, "You are a thief. Now you have come to see me. Come here, come here. Today I shall punish you." Shuni Prabhu kohe chora dili darashan. I, ajitor korimu dandan. And the sweetness of this can't really be expressed in English, but he's speaking in the Tui case, which is like how you would speak to a little child or something, it's like the intimate way of speaking. If you were talking like this with a peer, then that would be like really like offensive, like not respectful at all, like the disrespectful. But yeah, he's speaking to him. But for somebody who's like your dependent, young kid or something like that, it's really sweet. So, I, ajitor korimu dandan. The Lord called him, but Raghunath Das did not go near the Lord. Then the Lord forcibly caught him and placed his lotus feet upon Raghunath Das's head. And there's a beautiful BBT illustration of this. This isn't the full picture, but this is what I used for the thumbnail for the YouTube video. But yeah, see this picture? Yeah, there's Nityananda Prabhu placing his feet on Raghunath Das Goswami's head. I remember it said he was brilliant as effulgent as, what did it say, like 1,000 suns or something? Or did it say moons? I can't remember, but see how much effulgence there is. Okay. So Lord Nityananda was by nature very merciful and funny. Kotuki. Being merciful, he spoke to Raghunath Das as follows. Nikatena aisho chora, bhaga dure dure, aji lag, payachi dandimu tomare. You are just like a thief, like a chora. For instead of coming near, you stay away at a distant place. Now that I have captured you, I shall punish you. Dadi chira bakhan koraho morgane, shuni anandita hoilo Raghunātha mane. So what's the punishment for Raghunath Das? He says, make a festival and feed all my associates yogurt and flat rice. It says chipped rice here, but it's flat rice. Chira. Hearing this, Raghunath Das was greatly pleased. Raghunath Das immediately sent his own men to the village to purchase all kinds of eatables and bring them back. Raghunath Das bought flat rice, yogurt, milk, sweetmeats, sugar, bananas, and other eatables, and placed them all around. As soon as they heard that a festival was going to be held, all kinds of Brahmins and other gentlemen began to arrive. Thus, there was an innumerable people. All of a sudden, just a spontaneous, massive picnic that everybody was invited to, and everybody came. All different kinds of Brahmins, other gentlemen, everybody. Seeing the crowd increasing, Raghunath Das arranged to get more eatables from other villages. He also brought 2 to 400 large round earthen pots. He also obtained 5 or 7 especially large earthen pots, and in these pots, a Brahmin began soaking flat rice for the satisfaction of Lord Nityananda. In one place, chipped rice was soaked in hot milk in each of the large pots, tapta dugda. And then half the rice was mixed with yogurt, sugar, and bananas. And that's what we're going to be having here for breakfast. The second one. It's not going to make the first one, but the second one will have yogurt, sugar, bananas. The other half was mixed with condensed milk and a special type of banana known as champa cola. What's champa cola? There's in Bengal there's all different kinds of bananas. There's the one every day I bring milk to Shraman Maharaj at Devananda Gaudiya Math, and he's always asking me to get him what is it? Kantali cola. It's like a little small banana. But yeah, all different kinds of varieties of bananas and also lots of varieties of mangoes in Bengal. So then sugar, clarified butter, and camphor were added. Oh, and Haribo Chatamai Mataji and Anadi Krishna Prabhu. Okay. One second. Okay. After Nityananda Prabhu had changed his cloth for a new one and sat on a raised platform, the Brahmin brought before him the 7 huge pots. On that platform, all the most important associates of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, as well as other important men, sat down in a circle around the Lord. Among them were Ramdas, Sundarananda, Gadadhar Das, Murari, Kamalakar, Pipalai, Sadashiv, and Purandar. So these are all Dwarash Gopals, right? Maybe not all of them. I think they are all Dwarash Gopals. Then Dhananjay, Jagadish, Parameshwar Das, Mahesh, Goridas, and Hora Krishna Das were also there. Is that 12? Let's see if that's Dwadash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so there's one extra there. But yeah. Okay. But I think these are, I don't remember Hoda Krishnadas. Maybe he's not one of the Dwadash Gopals. Let's see. Similarly, Udharan Datta Thakur and many other personal associates of the Lord sat on a raised platform with Nityananda Prabhu. No one could count them all. Okay, Udharan Datta Thakur is one of the Dwadash Gopals. I want to do that. Let's do that at some point. We can memorize the Dwadash Gopals, the 12 cowherd boyfriend associates of Nityananda Prabhu. Let's see if Srila Prabhupada explains. The devotees mentioned herein, purport by Srila Prabhupada. The devotees mentioned herein are described by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in his Anubhashya. For further information, one may consult the following references in the Antya-līlā. Okay, it just gives a bunch of references. Okay. Hearing about the festival, all kinds of learned scholars, Brahmins, and priests went there. Lord Nityananda Prabhu honored them and made them sit on the raised platform with him. Everyone was offered 2 earthen pots. In one was put flat rice with condensed milk, with, what does it say? Does it say kheer? No, it just says dugda-chira, milk flat rice. And then dadi-chira. So one was, flat rice with condensed milk, and in the other was flat rice with yogurt. All the other people sat in the groups around the platform. No one could count how many people there were. Each and every one of them was supplied 2 earthen pots, one of dadi chira and the other of dugda chira. So dadi chira is flat rice and yogurt, and the other is flat rice and milk. Some of the Brahmins, not having got a place on the platform, went to the bank of the Ganga with their 2 earthen pots and soaked their chipped rice there. Others who could not get a place even on the bank of the Ganga got down in the water and began eating the two kinds of chipped rice. They're standing in the Ganga eating the rice because it was so crowded. Thus, some sat on the platform, some at the base of the platform, and some on the bank of the Ganga, and they were all supplied 2 pots, each by the 20 men who distributed the food. At that time, Raghava Pandit arrived there. Seeing this situation, he began to laugh in great surprise. He had just cooked a lunch. And he gets there and he's like, "What's going on? You're supposed to be coming for lunch now." So he began to laugh in great surprise. He brought many kinds of food cooked in ghee and offered to the Lord. This prasadam he first placed before Lord Nityananda and then distributed it among the devotees. Raghav Pandit said to Lord Nityananda, he said, um, for you, sir." The Bengali doesn't actually say anything like that. It just says, yeah, it doesn't say, it says Toma. Toma is like a more like a familiar way of saying you. But for you, I have already offered food to the deity. But you are engaged in a festival here, and so the food is lying there untouched. Lord Nityananda replied, "Let me eat all this food here during the day, and I shall eat at your home at night. I belong to a cowherd because I belong to a community of cowherd boys, and therefore I generally have many cowherd associates with me. I am happy when we eat together in a picnic like this by the sandy bank of the river." It says, "Gopa jati ami bahu gopa gon shange, ami shuk pai e pulin bhojan range." Lord Nityananda made Raghav Pandit Lord Nityananda made Raghav Pandit sit down and had two pots delivered to him also. There were 2 kinds of flat rice soaked in them. When the flat rice had been served to everyone, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, in meditation, brought Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived, Lord Nityananda Prabhu stood up. They then saw how the others were enjoying the chipped rice with yogurt and condensed milk. There's a beautiful painting of this also, an illustration of this, of Mahaprabhu arriving there. But not everybody could see Mahaprabhu, only some, only those who were special, got special mercy, they could see him. From each and every pot, Lord Nityananda Prabhu took one morsel of flat rice and pushed it into the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a joke. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, also smiling, took a morsel of food and pushed it into the mouth of Nityananda and laughed as he made Lord Nityananda eat it. In this way, Lord Nityananda was walking through all the groups of eaters, and all the Vaishnavas standing there were seeing the fun. No one could understand what Nityananda Prabhu was doing as he walked about. Yeah. Some, however, who were very fortunate, could see that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also present. So yeah, Mahaprabhu was only visible. Mahaprabhu darshan pai kono bhagyavani. Only some very fortunate bhagyavan people were able to have darshan of Mahaprabhu there. Nityananda Prabhu then smiled and sat down. On his right side, he kept 4 pots of flat rice that had not been made from boiled paddy. Lord Nityananda offered Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu a place and had him sit down. Then together, the 2 brothers began eating the flat rice. Seeing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eating with him, Lord Nityananda Prabhu became very happy and exhibited varieties of ecstatic love. He is bhavavish. Lord Nityananda Prabhu ordered. He said, "All of you eat, chanting the holy name of Hari." He said, "Agyadila, Hari boli koroho bhajan." Sorry, Hari boli koroho bhojan. And then at that moment, immediately the names of Hari Hari resounded, filling the entire universe. Hari Hari Dwani Uti, Bhorilo Bhuvan. When all the Vaishnavas were chanting the holy names, Hari, Hari, and eating, they remembered how Krishna and Balaram ate with their companions, the cowherd boys, on the bank of the Yamuna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu are extremely merciful and liberal. Udar. Udar can mean generous, magnanimous also. Let's look up the word udar. Hey, how come it's not coming up? Oops. For some reason it's not. Okay, so udar means generous, charitable, munificent, liberal, great, noble, magnanimous, honest, frank, sincere, high, and open. I think the words here is generous, magnanimous, munificent, liberal, great, charitable. Yeah, so Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they're very kripalu and udar. It was Raghunath Dasa's good fortune that they accepted all these offerings. Who can understand the influence and mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu? He is so powerful that he induced Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come eat flat rice on the bank of the Ganga. All the confidential devotees who were cowherd boys, headed by Sri Ramdas, were absorbed in ecstatic love, prema vishta, and they thought that the bank of the Ganga to be the bank of the Yamuna. When the shopkeepers of many other villages heard about the festival, they arrived there to sell flat rice, yogurt, sweetmeats, and bananas. As they came, bringing all kinds of food, Raghunath Das purchased it all. He gave them the price. He gave them the price of their goods, and later fed them the very same food. So he fed them the food that he bought from them. So they were eating the things that they sold. Anyone who came to see how these funny things are going on, the words kotuka, they were also fed flat rice, yogurt, and bananas. Anybody who saw, everybody was getting. After Lord Nityananda Prabhu finished eating, he washed his hands and mouth and gave Raghunath Das the food remaining in the 4 pots. So his very own remnants. There was food remaining in the 3 other big pots of Lord Nityananda, and a Brahmin distributed it to all the devotees, giving a morsel to each. Then a Brahmin brought a flower garland, placed the garland on Nityananda Prabhu's neck, and smeared sandalwood pulp all over his body. When a servant brought betel nuts and offered them to Lord Nityananda, the Lord smiled and chewed them. With his own hands, Lord Nityananda Prabhu distributed to all the devotees whatever flower garlands, sandalwood pulp, and betel nuts remained. After receiving the remnants of food left by Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Raghunath Das, who was greatly happy, he was anandita. He ate some and distributed the rest among his own associates. Thus, I've described the pastimes of Lord Nityananda Prabhu in relation to the celebrated festival of flat rice and yogurt. It's called the Daṇḍa-mahotsava. Kyati Jar. Daṇḍa-mahotsav Nami Kyati Jar. So this festival has 2 names. One is the Daṇḍa-mahotsava, the punishment festival, and the other is the Daṇḍa-mahotsava, the flat rice yogurt festival. Nityananda Prabhu rested for the day, and when the day ended, he went to the temple of Raghav Pandit and began congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Lord Nityananda Prabhu first influenced all the devotees to dance, and finally he himself began dancing, thus inundating the entire world in ecstatic love. Sheshe nritya kore preme jagat bhashai. Submerge the world in prem. Okay, so Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was observing the dancing of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu could see this, but the others could not. The dancing of Lord Nityananda Prabhu like the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, cannot be compared to anything within these three worlds. No one can properly describe the sweetness of Lord Nityananda's dancing, Nritya Madhuri. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally comes to see it. After the dancing and after Lord Nityananda had rested, Raghav Pandit submitted his request that the Lord take supper. Lord Nityananda Prabhu sat down for supper with his personal associates and made a sitting place on his right side for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there and sat at his place. Seeing this, Raghav Pandit felt increasing happiness. So Raghav Pandit was able to see Mahaprabhu. I don't think many others were, but he was. Raghav Pandit brought the prasadam before the two brothers, and thereafter distributed prasadam to all the other Vaishnavas. So I guess to probably like most of the people present there, they just saw a plate next to Nityananda Prabhu, but they couldn't see Mahaprabhu sitting there. But Raghav Pandit could see him, and so he distributed. But they probably just thought, like, to honor Mahaprabhu, they're keeping a plate there for him, but they didn't actually see he was actually sitting eating there. There are many varieties of cakes, sweet rice, and fine cooked rice that surpass the taste of nectar. There are also varieties of vegetables. What is that? Yeah, pita. And Nana Prakar, pita, payash, and divya shalanya. What's shalanya? Like pita, there's in Bengal, you'll go in many houses, they have all these different kinds of varieties of pita. They're like they're there's all different kinds actually. Like they're different sweets made with rice flour and white flour mixed lots of times. There's sometimes just white flour, or sometimes just rice flour. Actually, lots of times rice flour. Anyways, and there's all varieties of things, all different shapes, all different kinds. There's fried pita, there's jolar pita, there's all different types, varieties of these kinds of dry sweets. No, they'd call it teler pita, right? And then there's also payash. Payash is different kinds of like condensed milk things. Mhm. Sweet rice. Yeah, sweet rice is one kind of payash, but there's all different types of payash. But I don't know what shalanya is. This says fine cooked rice. Let's look up the word shalya. Shalya. Anyways. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. The food prepared and offered to the deity by Raghav Pandit was like the essence of nectar, Amriter Sar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there again and again to eat such prasadam. When Raghav Pandit offered the food to the deity after cooking, he would make a separate offering for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Every day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would eat at the house of Raghav Pandit. Sometimes he would give Raghav Pandit the opportunity to see him. Raghav Pandit would bring and distribute prasadam to the two brothers, feeding them with great attention. They ate everything, and therefore there were no remnants left. He brought so many presentations that no one could know them perfectly. So many gifts, upahar. Indeed, it was a fact that the Supreme Mother, Radharani, personally cooked in the house of Raghav Pandit. That's interesting. It says Radha Thakurani. It's interesting, it's written as a Supreme Mother. Usually Thakurani is. Anyways, yeah, Radha Thakurani. Okay. Srimati Radharani received from Durvasa Muni the benediction that whatever she cooked would be sweeter than nectar. That is the special feature of her cooking. Aromatic and pleasing to see, the food was the essence of all sweetness. It was Madhuryer sar, sugandhi, um, fragrant, sundar, beautiful, pleasing, madhuryer sar, essence of all sweetness. Thus the two brothers, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu, ate it with great satisfaction. All the devotees present requested Raghunath Das to sit down and take prasadam. But Raghav Pandit told him, he will take prasadam later. I wonder if that's so that he can get the remnants. All the devotees took prasadam, filling themselves to the brim. I like this word, akanta, akanta bhoriya. That means they ate up to the neck, to the top of their neck. It means they're so full that the food all went all the way, filled up their whole stomach and their whole body all the way till it went right to the neck. They couldn't swallow another bite. It's akanta bhoriya. Thereafter, chanting the holy name of Hari, they stood up and washed their hands and mouths. After eating, the two brothers washed their hands and mouths. Then Raghav Pandit brought flower garlands and sandalwood pulp and decorated them. Raghav Pandit offered them betel nuts and worshipped their lotus feet. He also distributed betel nuts, flower garlands, and sandalwood pulp to the devotees. Raghav Pandit, being very merciful towards Raghunath Das, offered him the dishes with the remnants of food left by the two brothers. Yes, that's why he said that he'll eat later. He wanted to offer them the remnants, the avashishta patra of the two brothers. So he didn't just give them the remnants, but he actually gave them the leaf plates that they're eating on, the avashishta patra. He said, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has eaten this food. If you take his remnants, you will be released from the bondage of your family. Wow. As Raghav Pandit giving that blessing to Raghunath Das, he knew that Raghunath Das was trying to escape home. So he gave that blessing that Tomar Kandilo Bandhan. Sorry, he says, Kohila Chaitanya Goshai, Koriachen Bhog, Tar Shesha Paile, Tomar Kandila Bandhan. Yes. The Supreme Personality of Godhead always resides either in the heart or in the home of a devotee. This fact is sometimes hidden and sometimes manifest, for the Supreme Personality of Godhead is fully independent. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is all-pervasive, and therefore he resides everywhere. Anyone who doubts this will be annihilated. In the morning, after taking his bath in the Ganga, Nityānanda Prabhu sat down with his associates beneath the same tree under which he had previously sat. Raghunath Das went there and worshipped Lord Nityananda's lotus feet. Through Raghav Pandit, he submitted his desire. So he had Raghav Pandit submit his desire. He didn't say directly, I guess, huh? Right? I don't know. But it sounds like he's talking here, right? I don't think Raghav Pandit would be saying this. So Raghunath Das Goswami said, I am the lowest of men, the most sinful, fallen, and condemned. Adhama, pamarmui, heen, jivadham. Nevertheless, I desire to attain shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mor icha hoy, paya Chaitanya charan. Like a dwarf who wants to catch the moon, Baman hoya jeno chand dhori bari chai. I have tried my best many times, but I've never been successful. Anek jatana koinu, tate kobu siddha noe. Every time I tried to go away and give up my home relationships, my father and mother unfortunately kept me bound. Joto bar palai ami grihadi chariya, pita mata dui more rakhae bandiya. No one can attain the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without your mercy. Tomar kripa bina keho Chaitanya napai. But if you are merciful, even the lowest of men can attain shelter at his lotus feet. Tumi kripa koile tare adhameha pai. Although I am unfit and greatly afraid to submit this plea, Ajogya mui nivedan korite kori bhoy, I nevertheless request you, sir, to be especially merciful toward me by granting me shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. More Chaitanya Deho Goshai Hoya Sadoy. Even though I'm unfit and I'm afraid to submit this plea, I request you, Chaitanya Deho, please give me Chaitanya Deho, being Hoya Sadoy, being most merciful. Placing your feet on my head, give me the benediction. Give me the benediction. What he says, Mor mate padadhori koro ho prasad. Give me your mercy. What mercy? That I may achieve the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without difficulty. I pray for this benediction. Nirvigne Chaitanya Paya Koro Ashirvad. Please give me this benediction. After hearing this appeal by Raghunātha, Lord Nityānanda Prabhu smiled and told all the devotees, he said, Raghunath Dasa's standard of material happiness is equal to that of Indra, the king of heaven. He says, Ihar Vishay Sukh, Indra Sukha Sama. Because of the mercy bestowed upon him by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Raghunath Das, although situated in such material happiness, does not like it at all. Therefore, let every one of you be merciful toward him and give him the benediction that he may very soon attain shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It says, Caitanya-caritāmṛta sheho nahi bhai mane, shabe ashirvad koro, pok Caitanya-charane. One who experiences the fragrance of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna does not value even the standard of happiness available in Brahmaloka, the topmost planet. And what to speak of heavenly happiness? Krishna par parmaganda jay janapai brahmaloka adi shuk tare nahi bhai. Now he gives this Sanskrit verse here. The meaning, this is from Srimad Bhagavatam 5:14-43. It says, Yo dustyajan darasutan suhrid rajam hridis prasha Jaho yuvaiva malavad uttama shlokalalasa. The meaning is, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is offered sublime poetic prayers by those trying to attain his favor. Okay, thus he is known as Uttama Shloka. Being very eager to gain the association of Lord Krishna, King Bharat, although in the prime of youth, he gave up his very attractive wife, his affectionate children, his most beloved friends and opulent kingdom, exactly as one gives up stool after excreting it. Excreting. Is that how you say it? Yeah, anyways, whatever. You get. Okay. That's a fun verse. Malavad, like stool. Okay.
Haribol Prabhu, excreting.
Oh, excreting. Okay, thank you.
You're doing a great job, Prabhu.
Thank you. He gives up stool after excreting it. Yes. Thank you. Okay. So then Lord Nityānanda Prabhu called Raghunath Das near him, placed his lotus feet upon Raghunath Das's head, and began to speak. So then Nityānanda Prabhu said, My dear Raghunath Das, he said, since you have arranged the feast on the bank of the Ganga, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came here just to show you his mercy. Tumi je korailo e pulin bhojan, tomai kripa kori gor koila agaman. By his causeless mercy, he ate the flat rice and milk. Then, after seeing the dancing of the devotees at night, he took his supper. Kripa kori koila chira dugda bhojan, nritya deki ratre koila prasar bhakhan. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaur Hari, came here personally to deliver you. Now rest assured that all the impediments meant for your bondage are gone. Toma udharite Gaur aila apane, Chutilo tomar joto vignadi bandhane. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will accept you, and he will place you under the charge of his secretary, Shri Swarup Damodar. You will thus become one of the most confidential internal servants and will attain shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Swaruper stane toma koribe samarpane, antarang bhritya boli rakhi be charane. Being assured of all this, return to your own home. Very soon, without impediments, you will attain shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nischinta hoya jaho apana bhavan, achire nirvigne pabe Chaitanya charan. Achire means without any delay, very quickly, nirvigne, without any impediments. Pabe Chaitanya charan, you will attain Mahaprabhu's Chaitanya's feet. So nischinta hoya, don't worry. Jaho apan bhavan, go to your home. Lord Nityananda had Raghunātha Das blessed by all the devotees, and Raghunātha Das offered his respects to their lotus feet. After taking leave of Lord Nityananda Prabhu and then of all the other Vaishnavas, Sri Raghunātha Das consulted secretly with Raghav Pandit. After consulting with Raghav Pandit, he secretly delivered 100 gold coins and about 7 tolas of gold into the hands of Nityananda Prabhu's treasurer. Raghunātha Das admonished the treasurer. He said, "Do not speak about this to Lord Nityananda Prabhu now, but when he returns home, kindly inform him about this presentation." Thereupon, Raghav Pandit took Raghunātha Das to his home. After inducing him to see the deity, he gave Raghunātha Das a garland and sandalwood pulp. He gave Raghunātha Das a large quantity of prasadam to eat on his way home. Then Raghunātha Das again spoke to Raghav Pandit. "I want to give money," he said, "just to worship the lotus feet of all the great devotees, servants and subservants of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. To all the Mahantas, all the Bhrityas, and all the Ashrita Jans." As you think fit, give 20, 15, 12, 10, or 5 coins to each of them. Raghunātha Das drew up an account of the amount to be given and submitted it to Raghav Pandit, who then made up a list showing how much money was going to be paid to each and every devotee. So he didn't give everybody the same amount. What was it? Some were 20, some were 15, 12, 10, or 5. Wow, that's a lot of different amounts. So I guess he put them all in different categories. There's the people who got 20 coins, some who got 15, some who got 12. Okay. With great humility, Raghunātha Das placed 100 gold coins and about 2 tolas of gold before Raghav Pandit for all the other devotees. After taking dust from the feet of Raghav Pandit, Raghunātha Das returned to his home, feeling greatly obligated to Lord Nityananda Prabhu because of having received his merciful benediction. From that day on, he did not go into the interior section of the house. Instead, he would sleep on the Durga Mandap. That's the place where Mother Durga is worshipped. In Bengal, in lots of houses, like many houses just in the village, you'll see, oh my God, it's 8 o'clock. Just notice the time. Anyways, yeah, you'll see in the front of the house, it's called the Durga Mandap. It's like where they keep the temple outside in front of the house. It's like a little raised platform and a little temple. Yeah. But it is 8 o'clock. Let's see. Okay, I think if anybody needs to go now, because this is usually what time we end. I mentioned at the beginning of our reading, actually. Yeah, today I'm going to go a bit over time. But yeah, I'm going to keep on reading. And if you want to watch later, this will all be available on YouTube for you to watch later if you want to watch. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so from that day on, he slept out in the Durga Mandap. There, however, the watchmen alertly kept guard. They knew that he was going to try to leave. Raghunath Das was thinking of various means by which to escape their vigilance. So he had all these guards just outside, always watching him, making sure he wasn't going to run away. At that time, all the devotees of Bengal were going to Jagannath Puri to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right before Chaturmasya every year, all the different Gaudiya devotees from all over Bengal, they would all leave in different groups from different villages to stay in Puri, but they'd all journey by foot. So Raghunath Das could not accompany them, for they were so famous that they would have been caught immediately. It wouldn't have been difficult to find one of those groups of people. Thus, Raghunath Das thought deeply about how to escape. And one night, while he was sleeping on the Durga Mandap, the priest Yadunandanacharya entered the house when only 4 dandas remained until the end of the night. So is that like Brahma Muhurta time, right? Or before that? Yadunandanacharya was the priest and spiritual master of Raghunath Das. Although born in a Brahmin family, he had accepted the mercy of Vasudeva Datta. Yadunandanacharya had been officially initiated by Advaita Acharya. Thus, he considered Lord Chaitanya his life and soul. When Yadunandanacharya entered the house of Raghunath Das and stood in the courtyard, Raghunath Das went there and fell down to offer his obeisances. One of Yadunandanacharya's disciples had been worshipping the deity, but had left that service. Yadunandanacharya wanted Raghunath Das to induce the disciple to take up that service again. Yadunandanacharya requested Raghunath Das, he said, please induce the Brahmin to resume the service, for there is no other Brahmin to do it. After saying this, because we heard about how good Raghunath Das is at talking to people and getting them like influential, we heard about with the. So after saying this, Yadunandanacharya took Raghunath Das with him and went out. By that time, all the watchmen were deeply asleep because it was the end of the night. And even if any of them are awake, he was just going with Yadunandanacharya somewhere, right? So east of the house of Raghunath Das was the house of Yadunandanacharya. Yadunandanacharya and Raghunath Das talked together as they went toward that house. Halfway along the path, Raghunath Das submitted at the lotus feet of his spiritual master. He said, I shall go to the home of that Brahmin, induce him to return, and send him to your home. You may go home without anxiety. Following your order, I shall persuade the Brahmin. On this plea, after asking permission, Raghunath Das decided to go away. Raghunath Das thought, this is the greatest opportunity to go away, because this time there are no servants or watchmen with me. Sevak rakhak ar kehu nahi sange, palaite amar phalo eto prasange. Thinking in this way, he quickly proceeded toward the east. Sometimes he turned around and looked back, but no one was following him. I guess he didn't try to convince the Brahmin to go to the place. He's like, yeah, Yadunandanacharya will figure that out later on. This is his golden opportunity. So he just took it and he escaped. Sometimes he'd turn around to see back, but no, nobody was following him. Thinking of the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityānanda Prabhu, he kept the general path and proceeded with great haste on the one not generally used. Giving up the general path from village to village, he passed through the jungles, thinking with heart and soul about the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Kaya mano vakya chinte Chaitanya charani. With his body, with his mind, and with his words. That's what it says. He thought about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He walked about 30 miles in one day, and in the evening, he took rest in a cowshed of a milkman. When the milkman saw that Raghunath Das was fasting, he gave him some milk. Raghunath Das drank the milk and lay down to rest for the night. At the house of Raghunath Das, the servant and watchman, not seeing him there, immediately went to inquire about him from his spiritual master, Yadunandanacharya. Yadunandanacharya said, he has already asked my permission and returned home. Thus, there arose a tumultuous sound, and as everyone cried, now Raghunath has gone away, Polaiya Raghunath Utilo Kolaholo. Raghunath Das's father said, now all the devotees from Bengal have gone to Jagannath Puri to see Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Raghunath Das has fled with them. 10 men should immediately go catch him and bring him back. Raghunath Das's father wrote a letter to Shivananda Sen, asking him with great humility. He says, please return my son. Amar putrere tumi diba bahudiya. Bahudiya. I don't know that word, bahudiya. But I just want to see. I'm not familiar with that word. Bahu. How come it's not coming up? Okay, anyhow, doesn't matter. Whatever. Oh wait. Bahu. No, it's not coming up. Okay, anyhow. In Jharkhand, the 10 men caught up with a group of Vaishnavas going to Nilachal. After delivering the letter, the men inquired from Shivananda Sen about Raghunath Das, but Shivananda Sen replied, he did not come here. The 10 men returned home. Okay, it's Bahudi, I think means return. No. Anyways, whatever, sorry. And Raghunath Das's father and mother were filled with anxiety. Oh, Bahudiya are the people, the guard people, I'm guessing. Raghunath Das, who had been resting at the milkman's house, got up early in the morning. Instead of going to the east, he turned his face south and proceeded. He really wanted to avoid anybody trying to being able to find him. He knew that he's going to send people all over to find him. He crossed Chhatrabhog. I've been to Chhatrabhog. That was part of our preaching field with Tirthamash. But instead of going on the general path, he proceeded on the path that went from village to village. Not caring about eating, he traveled all day. Hunger was not an impediment, for his mind was concentrated upon obtaining shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sometimes he chewed fried grains, sometimes he cooked, and sometimes he drank milk. In this way, he kept his life and soul together with whatever was available wherever he went. He reached Jagannath Puri in 12 days, but could eat only for 3 days on the way. Wow, in 12 days, he only ate 3 days out of 12 days. Wow, that's crazy. When Raghunath Das met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord was sitting with his companions, headed by Swarup Damodar. Wow, how exciting, huh? After that journey. Staying at a distant place in the courtyard, he fell down to offer obeisances. Then Mukunda Datta said, Hey, Ailo Raghunath, here is Raghunath. Look here, he's come, Raghunath. As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard these words, he immediately welcomed Raghunath Das. Prabhu Kohen, Aisho Teho Dhorila Charan. So Mahaprabhu said, come here. And then Raghunath Das, he then clasped the lotus feet of the Lord. But the Lord stood up and embraced him out of his causeless mercy. Uthi Prabhu Kripai Tare Koila Alingan. Mahaprabhu embraced Raghunath Das. Wow. Raghunath Das offered prayers at the lotus feet of all the devotees, headed by Swarup Damodar Goswami. Seeing this special mercy Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had bestowed upon Raghunath Das, they embraced him also. Jai. Sarupadi Shab Bhaktir Charana Bandila, Prabhu Kripa Deki Sabe Alingana Koila. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, the mercy of Lord Krishna is stronger than anything else. Therefore, the Lord has delivered you from the ditch of materialistic life, which is like a hole into which people pass stool. Prabhu kohe Krishna kripa balishta sabha hoite, tomare kardilo vishay vishta garta hoite, a pit of the stool of enjoyment. Raghunath Das answered within his mind. He says, so Raghunath Mane Kohe. Krishna nahi jani. I do not know who Krishna is. Tava kripa kadilo ama ei ami mani. I simply know that your mercy, O my Lord, has saved me from my family life. So he thought that in his mind. He didn't say it out loud because he knew Mahaprabhu could understand. He could hear his thoughts. So the Lord continued. Your father and his elder brother are both related as brothers to my grandfather, Nilambar Chakravarti. Therefore, I consider them my grandfathers. Since your father and his elder brother are since your father and his elder brother are younger brothers of Nilambar Chakravarti, I may joke about them in this way. My dear Raghunātha, your father and his elder brother are just like worms in stool in the ditch of material enjoyment. For the great disease of the poison of material enjoyment is what they consider happiness. Although your father and uncle are charitable to the Brahmins and greatly help them, they are nevertheless not pure Vaishnavas. However, they are almost like Vaishnavas. This verse is quoted a lot. Jadapi Brahmanya kore Brahmaner sahai, Shuddha Vaishnav nahe hoye, Vaishnaver pray. So they're not pure Vaishnavas, they're Vaishnaver pray. That means they resemble Vaishnavas. They're like Vaishnavas, but not actually Vaishnavas. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains this all about how that's referring like to Kanishta. They're Vaishnav Parai. Tatapi those who are attached to materialistic life and are blind to spiritual life must act in such a way that they are bound to repeated birth and death by the actions and reactions of their activities. By his own free will, Lord Krishna has delivered you from such a condemned materialistic life. Therefore, the glories of Lord Krishna's causeless mercy cannot be expressed. Seeing Raghunātha skinny and dirty because of having traveled for 12 days and fasted, Lord Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, his heart melting due to causeless mercy, spoke to Swarup Damodar. Okay, I'm going to read this part. E Raghunātha ami sampinu tomare, putra bhritya rupe tumi koro angikare. My dear Swarup, he said, I entrust this Raghunath Das to you. Please accept him as your son or servant. Putra, that means son, and Bhritya, rupe, like a son and servant. Angikara, koro. There are now 3 Raghunaths among my associates. From this day forward, this Raghunath should be known as Swaruper Raghu. That means the Raghu of Swarup Damodar. So there's a purport. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had 3 Raghus among his associates. There's the Vaidya Raghunath, Bhatta Raghunath, and Dasa Raghunath. Dasa Raghunath became celebrated as Swaruper Raghu, the Raghunath of Swarup. Saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu grasped the hand of Raghunath Das and entrusted him to the hands of Swarup Damodar Gosvāmī. Swarup Damodar Gosvāmī accepted Raghunath Das, saying, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whatever you order is accepted. He then embraced Raghunath Das again and again. Swarup kohe Mahaprabhur je agya hoilo, eto kohi Raghunate puna alingilo. I cannot properly express the affection of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for his devotees. Being merciful toward Raghunath Das, the Lord spoke as follows to Govinda. Then Mahaprabhu said to Govinda, he says, on the way, Raghunath Das has fasted and undergone hardships for many days. Therefore, take good care of him for some days, so that he may eat to his satisfaction. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Raghunath Das, he says, go bathe in the sea, then see Lord Jagannath in the temple, and return here to take your meal. After saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got up and went to perform his midday duties. And Raghunath met all the devotees present. Having seen the causeless mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu upon Raghunātha, all the devotees, struck with wonder, praised his good fortune. Raghunātha took his bath in the sea and saw Lord Jagannath. Then he returned to Govinda, the personal servant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Govinda offered him a plate with the remnants of food left by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Raghunātha accepted the prasadam with great happiness. It's another time when he got the plate of Mahaprabhu. Wow. Raghunātha stayed under the care of Swarup Damodar Gosvāmī, and Govinda supplied him with remnants of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's food for 5 days. Wow, 5 days. He got to just live off of Mahaprabhu's remnants. Amazing, huh? Beginning from the 6th day, Raghunātha would stand at the gate known as Singhadwar to beg alms from after the Pushpanjali ceremony, in which flowers were offered to the Lord. After finishing their prescribed duties, the many servants of Lord Jagannath, who are known as the Vishais, they return home at night. If they see a Vaishnav standing at the Singhadwar begging alms, out of mercy they arrange with the shopkeepers to give him something to eat. Thus it is a custom for all time that a devotee who has no other means of support stands at the Singhadwar, that's the main front gate, the lion gate, and to receive the alms from the servants. A completely dependent Vaishnav thus chants the holy name of the Lord all day and sees Lord Jagannath with full freedom. It is a custom for some Vaishnavas to beg from the charity booths and eat whatever they obtain, whereas others stand at night at the Singhadwar gate, begging alms from the servants. Renunciation is the basic principle sustaining the lives of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotees. This is an important verse. This is quoted a lot. Mahaprabhur bhakta ganir vairagya pradhan. Jaha deki pritta hon gaur bhagavan. Okay, so this is a nice verse to memorize it. Renunciation is the basic principle sustaining the lives of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotees. Seeing this renunciation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is extremely satisfied. Jahanteki Prittahon Gaur Bhagavan. Mahaprabhu is very happy to see. He's very pleased or satisfied on seeing the renunciation of his devotees. And Srila Prabhupada writes this commentary here. He says, anyone, whether an ordinary materialistic person or a pure devotee, can understand the behavior of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotees if he studies it minutely. One will thus find that the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are not at all attached to any kind of material enjoyment. They have completely given up sense enjoyment to engage fully in the service of Lord Sri Krishna and dedicate their lives and souls to serving Krishna without material desires. Because their devotional service is free from material desires, it is unimpeded by material circumstances. Although ordinary men have great difficulty understanding this attitude of the devotees, it is greatly appreciated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Govinda said to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says, Raghunath Das is no longer takes prasadam here. Now he stands at the Singhadwar, where he begs some alms to eat. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this, he was greatly satisfied. He said, Raghunath Das has done well. He said, he has acted suitably for a person in the renounced order. I'm going to finish up in 5 minutes, 8:30. Right now it's 8:25. A person in the renounced order should always chant the holy name of the Lord. He should beg some alms to eat, and he should sustain his life in this way. Vairagi koribe sada nam sankirtan magya kaya kore jivan rakhan. A vairagi, a person in the renounced order, should not depend on others. If he does so, he will be unsuccessful and he will be neglected by Krishna. Yeah, right. Vairagi hoya jeva kore porapeka. Karya siddhi nahi Krishna koren upeka. So if he's para apeka, that means dependent on others, then Krishna will become upeka. He will neglect him. He'll see, oh, he's not, he already has somebody to depend on. He doesn't need to depend on me. Okay. He doesn't need my help. But the person in the renounced order, they're supposed to be fully dependent on the Lord. If Krishna sees he's dependent on somebody else other than him, he's like, okay, he's taken care of by that person. Fine, I don't need to help him. So he'll become upeksha. Sorry. If a renunciant is eager for his tongue to taste different foods, his spiritual life will be lost, and he'll be subservient to the tastes of his tongue. Vairagi hoya kore jivar lalas, paramartha jai ar hoy rasir vash. The duty of a person in the renounced order is to chant the Hare Krishna mantra always. He should satisfy his belly with whatever vegetables, leaves, fruits, and roots are available. Vairagir krita sada nam sankirtan shak patra fal mule udar bharan. One who is subservient to the tongue and who thus goes here and there, devoted to the genitals on the belly, cannot attain Krishna. Jivar lalase jay iti uti dhai Shishnodar Parayan Krishna Nahi Pai. The next day, Raghunātha inquired at the lotus feet of Swarup Damodar about his duty. I don't know why I have given up household life, he said. What is my duty? Kindly give me instructions. Ki mor kartavya Prabhu koro upadesh. Raghunātha never even spoke a word before the Lord. Instead, he informs the Lord of his desires through Swarup Damodar Gosvāmī and Govinda. The next day, Swarup Damodar Gosvāmī submitted to Lord Sri Caitanya-Mahaprabhu. He says, Raghunātha has this to say at your lotus feet. He says, Ki mor kartavya mui na jani udesh, apni shimuke more koro upadesh. I do not know my duty or the goal of my life. Therefore, please personally give me instructions from your transcendental mouth. Smiling, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Raghunātha, I have already appointed Swarup Damodar Gosvāmī as your instructor. He is your Tomar Upadeshta Kori Swarupere Dilo. You may learn from him what your duty is and how to discharge it. I do not know as much as he. Sadhya sadhan tattva shikho ihar sthane, ami toto nahi jani, iho joto jane. I don't know as much as he does. Nevertheless, if he wants to take instructions from me with faith and love, you may ascertain your duties from the following words. Tatapi, amar agyai shraddha jadi hoy, amar ei vakya tabe kori ho nishtoy. Okay, these are very important. This is, anytime we talk about Raghunātha Gosvāmī, this verse is always quoted. Gramya katha na shunibe, gramya varta na kohibe, bhalo na kaibe, ar bhalo na poribe. Says, do not talk like people in general, or hear what they have to say. That means gramya katha means village talk, gossip, village talk. Gramya means village katha talk. Na shunibe, do not hear that. Don't hear gossip, village talk. And gramya varta na kohibe, don't speak about village, don't speak, varta and katha are like the same thing. So don't speak about it. Don't speak about that gossip or. And bhalo na kaibe, don't eat nice things. Don't eat good. Ar bhalo na poribe, and don't wear nice clothes. Do not expect honor, but offer all respect to others. Amani manada hoya, Krishna nam sadalove. Krishna nam sadalove. Always chant the holy name of Lord Krishna. Vraje Radha Krishna seva manase koribe. And within your minds, render service to Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. Okay, and then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, okay, it's 8:30. Well, let's just read this purport and we'll finish. Srila Prabhupada says, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in his Amrita Pravaha Bhashya that when a man and a woman are married, they beget children and are thus entangled in family life. They talk concerning such family life is called Gramya Katha. A person in the renounced order never indulges in either hearing or talking about such subjects. He should not eat palatable dishes, since that is unfit for a person in the renounced order. He should show all respect to others, but should not expect respect for himself. In this way, one should chant the holy name of the Lord and think of how to serve Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. And Mahaprabhu said, Eto shankhepe ami koilu upadesh, swaruper thai ihar paibe vishesh. I've briefly given you my instructions. Now you will get all details about them from Sarup Damodar. And then this verse, Taranarapi sunichena taror iva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Okay, I'm not going to read the translation. We know the meaning of that. Having heard this, Raghunātha offered prayers at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Lord, out of great mercy, embraced him. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again entrusted him into Sarup Damodar. Thus, Raghunātha rendered very confidential service with Sarup Damodar Gosvāmī. At this time, all the devotees from Bengal arrived, and as previously, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met them with great feeling. Okay, and then after that, it's all the pastimes. As he had previously done, he cleansed the Buddha temple and held a picnic feast in the garden with the devotees. The devotees again danced, the Lord again danced with the devotees during the Rath Yatra festival. Seeing this, Raghunātha was struck with wonder. When Raghunātha met all the devotees, Advaita Acharya showed him great mercy. He also met Shivananda Sain, who informed him, "Your father sent 10 men to take you away. He wrote me a letter asking me to send you back. But when those 10 men received no information about you, they returned home from Jankara. When all the devotees from Bengal returned home after staying at Jagannath Puri for 4 months, Raghunātha's father heard about their arrival and therefore sent a man to Shivananda Sain." Anyways, I want to keep on going, but let's stop here because it's already 8:33. So thank you for staying with me till almost the end. Right. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Hare Hare, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Jai Shri Gurudev Ki Jai, Shri Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Saparsha Ji Gaur Nityānanda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopigan Ki Jai, Jai Shri Raghunāth Das Gosvāmī Par Ki Jai, Jai Shriman Nityānanda Prabhu Ki Jai, Dwadasha Gopal Ki Jai, Swaparsha Ji Gaur Nityānanda Prabhu Ki Jai, Jai Shri Raghav Pandit Ki Jai, Jai Shri Damayanti Devi Ki Jai, Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Caitanya-caritāmṛta Ki Jai, Jai Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Par Ki Jai, Jai Shri Daṇḍa-mahotsava, Dadi Chira Mahotsav Ki Jai, Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Pāṇihāṭī Gram Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Srila Bhakti Jivan Acharya Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Today Shubha Avirbhav Titi Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Jai Shri Sarup Damodar Ki Jai, Saruper Raghu Ki Jai. Jai. Vindai Tulsidevai, Priyai Keshavashacha, Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi, Sattvatai Namo Namaha, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhyayevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, Chatamai Mataji, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Vidyalala Sadidi, Ganga Mataji, and all the other devotees watching. Also Shachi Devi and Revati Didi and Jayadev Prabhu and everybody else. Dandavat pranams, all devotees watching in the future. Thank you so much for joining. See you all tomorrow wait, what is tomorrow? I'm just looking at the calendar really quickly. Tomorrow is, okay, nothing. We're going to continue our reading of Shikshashtak. We will probably finish our reading. We're like on the very last one of Sarvatma Snapanam. So look forward to seeing you all for that. Jai Shri Radhe. Oh, Bhavatarani Mataji said that she wrote a song for this, the Chipped Rice Festival. Okay, cool. All right, Hari Bol. Dandavat pranams, everybody.